everybody. I hope everybody's having a really good week this week. So this week was a request by Debbie S, and it's a puzzle twist card. And I have never heard of this before, and I looked it up and I thought we can do this. This is what it'll look something like. So when the person that is receiving it, what they'll do is move it around and match it up to solve what the image is. And these circles that I made, they will lock in place, kind of like puzzle pieces lock into place, which is fun. So once they move it around, and they'll see that they'll match the pieces up. And then we have some mountains, sun, and clouds. So this was just the mock-up one, and then you open it up and it's just a very simple, easy card. So let's go to Design Space because I'm going to show you some things that you will need to do in the file. So let's head over there and we can get started. I'll see you there. Okay, now that we are in Design Space and we have this file pulled up for our puzzle card, so the easiest way I found how to make this puzzle card is this piece right here is the pieces we will glue our puzzle pieces to. You can take the score lines off if you do not want them there. It's not necessary. I just like it because after I cut it, sometimes I get them mixed up and I'm not sure is the top, so it's easier for me to just find this little score line. You will not see the score line after we put our puzzle piece on it. This little guy over here, I just put this inside the card. It's a place to write a message, and then I just use my markers to color the cup and the teapot. So these will be drawn on your piece when it's cut out. So all of these pieces are going to be drawn on this piece of cardstock here. So what I tend to do is cut this piece out and then color my sheet. So if you like, we can go ahead and send this piece to our Cricut machine and let it draw and cut it out. So why don't we go ahead and do that right now. Now we're going to get ready to cut It's Fall, Y'all, with all of our little fall decorations on it. So this part is not hard. We're just going to line our piece of paper up, get our pen of whichever color you're using. I'm using a black pen. You'll put it in and then just put it into your Cricut and let it cut and draw your picture that you're going to color in. So let's do that. Do is take our colored piece that we've colored here and our mat. So for this piece, what I've done is just lined it up at the edge of our line on our mat. And then once we have it all lined up, we can put it in our machine and then head over to Design Space, and I'm going to show you what we need to do next. I'll see you there. Okay, so we're back here in Design Space. We have our mat and our coloring sheet in our Cricut. So what we're going to do, because we don't need this piece printed or cut again, if we click on it and then we go over to our layers panel, we're going to hide it. And then after we do that, I just go ahead and make all the rest of my pieces. So we can click on the Make It. So this is the piece that we're going to use to cut out our puzzle with. So we already have our mat and our coloring sheet in our Cricut, it's already colored, and we can go ahead and, if you're ready, hit continue and cut it out. So let's do that, because after all of our pieces are cut out, I'll go ahead and meet you back at the craft table and we'll put this together. I'll see you there.
All right, now we can go ahead and take our pieces off of our mat, and we have our little puzzle pieces here. Your puzzle pieces should be looking something like this, and what we can do is go ahead and set these aside and move on to our next step. Okay guys, now that we are at the craft table, let's work our score line and put our pretty paper on. Alright, so we got this piece done. Now we can get our puzzle pieces out, and our pieces that we will put our puzzle pieces on. So there we have our puzzle pieces already cut. And on these, because they won't be seen once we cover it up, I did put a little score line at the top so it will be easier to know which is the top on these. And then this is our extra one that we will use for the bottom. We will need a brad and we will need foam tape. So first thing first is, this is our biggest piece. So if you have yours already lined up like so, you could just take this piece off because we know it's the top. We can match it up. And remember, I put a little score line at the top so you'll be able to see it. And we'll glue it on our piece like so. So let's go ahead and put some glue on this and put it on our big piece. There's our first little piece, and then we can set this aside, get our next piece. And the last I'm choosing not to do because I'm going to hide my brad. So once we get that done, it's lining each one, just stacking them on top of each other. We'll have an extra one of these, and it goes on the back, and that's so it has something to spin on. And then we'll take our top one, which I'm going to layer mine on top so I don't see my brad. And then we'll just slip our brad through there. And when we put it down, you don't want it to tight because then your pieces won't be able to move. So we have our pieces on them. You just want to make sure it's not too tight and you can move it. And then if you're going to hide your brad, this is where you will need our little foam tape. And I'm doubling mine up because it's not very thick. And then when you put it on here, you just want to make sure it's not blocking your wheel there. So now I'm going to just take my little foam off of here. Make sure my piece is lined up. And there we have it. And now we can mix our pieces totally up. And then for our bottom piece here, we'll figure out which way we want it on our card. We're going to do the same thing. We are going to put foam on the bottom small circle, only on the small circle. And then once we have our foam on, whichever way you want to be your front, we can put it on the front of our card. So the whole thing would be able to twist around. And then for the inside, I have a place where I made where we can write a message. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and put it on the inside this week, since we really don't have anything else in here. And I did this cute teapot with a coffee cup circle. That goes very nicely. So guys, this is a very cute, simple, easy card, and you could change it up anywhere in this ring, or even do different circles or rings. So yeah, let's go ahead and match this up again. So we got our top, and there we have it. And then this can turn too, which I think is fun. It's fall, y'all. And then our nice little place to write a message inside our card. And don't forget, we have a matching envelope that can go with it. Do you guys know why you should never interrupt a person working on a word puzzle? Because interrupting them may result in crosswords. Guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me. Don't forget to stop by next week to see what's popping and dropping. Bye.